Hi friends, this is Praveen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Edify Let's Learn Together. For this week, I have come up with a video on how to identify strengths and how to leverage it. So this video will help you in understanding how to identify strengths, how to analyze the strengths, and how to maximize the strengths. Before getting into it, if you have a question on why it is important to identify strengths, I will give an example from my personal life. In my first job, I worked for two teams. The first team, the objective is whatever complaints are coming from customers, we need to understand the issue and we need to respond back. It's a proper support role. It's a B2C role actually. So per day there will be 80 to 100 emails will be coming from the customers for every agent, and we are supposed to respond to them. There the success, or if you are a top performer, it is being measured based on the number of tickets or issues you are handling. After 6 7 months, what I have identified as my strengths are empathy, contenting with the customer, putting myself in the shoes of the customer, understanding their problem better. Giving attention to minute details is also one of my strengths, and problem solving. These are the three major strengths which I got during the 6 7 months of tenure in the first team. But because of these strengths, I was not a top performer in the team actually. I was an average performer because now the number of issues which I was handling will be always 60 to 70, because I will try to empathize more with the customer to understand the issue. I give more attention to the details. I try to solve the problem. But whereas the other agents who are trying to address it then and there, if there are no details are available, they just ask for details, or even if there are some details available, they still go ahead and ask for details and they pass the ticket. So if you want to be successful or if you want to be a top performer, the criteria measured there was number of tickets handled and number of CSAT will be there. But still, I was not able to be a top performer. I used to think, am I missing out on something? I tried changing myself, but I was not. After a few months, I was moved to a different team that was an internal escalation. So the primary objective is the cases which are coming to the team will be already screwed up by someone. There would have been a miss. The customer is already angry. So here you don't need to resolve things. You need to empathize with the customer. You need to understand what has gone wrong. You need to go back to the team and give them the heads up saying that this was missed from here, hence this issue has occurred, and need to resolve this. All my three strengths, empathy, giving attention to details, problem solving, were directly aligned to the second team. I became a subject matter expert. I was able to do well, able to leave the company with a very good performance. So if I was still in the first team, for all of my strengths, I would have been an average performer. I would have never been a top performer. But the second team, my strengths and their need got aligned, and I was able to perform well, and the company was also being able to get benefit out of me. So this is why understanding our strengths and aligning with the company goals and requirements can help both win mutually. So after this story, you would have understood why it is important to understand strengths and apply in the work. Let's go with the question of how to identify strengths. So you might be having a question that, Praveen, I am good at everything or I'm not good at anything. So you might be in either of these two buckets. You might not be able to clearly say what is your strength. So there are five areas or five clues. You need to bucket or narrow down your strengths so that you will be able to identify top two or top three strengths. The first strength, which attracts you, which makes you to do it by yourself. For example, if you are a person who likes to read, learn things by yourself, if you are a person who connect with other team members, learn their process, learn their product, then you are getting attracted to learning something new. You are open to learn. So this is a skill which you are interested in. So like this, try to filter out the strengths or skills you have which you like to do it by yourself without any pressure from others, and you like to do it continuously. This is the first clue. And the second clue is, do you like to learn further about it? For example, you like to know about sales. If there's a book or a course given to you about sales, do you like to learn it faster? Do you like to kind of remember the things whatever you have learned? Because you might be given with course or book, but if you don't connect with it, you will not be able to read it faster and you will not be able to remember. If you are able to remember and learn faster, this is a second clue which says this is the skill which you are interested. The third one, after you have learned, while implementing it, do you feel satisfied? Do you feel really happy? With these three clues, you would have narrowed down on your strengths. But if you still not, there are two more clues for you. Do you feel that you are forgetting yourself while doing it? There will be certain things, for example, while shooting this video or preparing content for this, there are occasions where I would have skipped my lunch, where I would have skipped few things. Maybe I would have told to my friends I'll call them later and I'll still be doing this video. This kind of makes me happy, and I feel like I can skip few things in my life, still do this. So if a skill or the nature of job what you are doing, does it kind of make you forget your day-to-day routine and focus on the skill alone, then that is also a strength. Followed by, do you do it better than others? So this question is slightly tricky, you might not be able to answer by yourself. This can be better answered by your colleagues or a team lead or a manager. They can say that you are doing it better than your colleague or than a team member. You will be able to understand, oh, this is also my strength. So these are the various clues where you can narrow down on your strength. But to do it formally, there are two ways. One is, you can try to do an online assessment. There's an online free assessment on internet where you can apply yourself, register yourself, and go and take it up. That gives you that what are your top 3 strengths or top 5 strengths, or there are paid versions. There's another way to do is getting input from colleagues or the team manager or the team management. You can go to them and ask, what do you think are my top 3 strengths, or what do you think are my top 3 skills, which is kind of very good and which is helpful for the company. So such questions, if you are able to ask and collect inputs and cross validate with yourself, you would have already thought these are the 3 top skills you have. What your colleague thinks, what your manager thinks. So if you cross validate, you will be able to identify your strengths. Whereas the online assessment is another way without any bias. If you are going to take an online assessment, still you will be able to identify your strengths. And for people who are asking, can you show me a few example of strengths? I have listed out all this on screen. I will pass it here for 2 seconds. Just if you want to take a screenshot, you can pass and take a screenshot. And then, not importantly, don't just copy paste it in your resume or say it in an interview. Back it up with a proper example. Then only these strengths or skills will add value, and that will be helpful for company as well as for you. Moving on. Now you have identified the strengths. Now what to do further? You need to analyze the strengths to know what are the areas you can improve upon, because every strength you will not be a master at it. There are strengths you would have acquired in the recent time which requires improvement. There are skills which would have got outdated. You would have not, maybe a technical skill you have which was your strength, but you're not updating yourself for a very long time, which has got outdated. So there are skills and strengths. You need to analyze and plot down the areas where you need to do improvements. Also, you need to assess the environment and nature of work what you are doing. Based on the environment, for example, whether your company is kind of open to encourage that strength, whether your nature of work is kind of open to encourage the strength, or what do you need to do to kind of align your strength with the nature of work you're doing. After analyzing this, you need to prepare a plan. What can be a plan? For example, if your plan is to improve the communication skills, now you need to prepare a plan saying that, I need to give more presentation, I need to give more training so that I can improve my presentation as well as communication skills. For it, what you need to do, you need to approach your manager or a team leader and ask for more chances and measure the progress. After each session, maybe if you're able to record a session, you can play and see and understand where things have gone wrong, what are the areas you have improved upon. Measuring a goal or measuring a performance only will help you to improve. If you have a goal without a measurement methodology, you will never be able to do it. And after doing it for a couple of weeks or months, you need to review the plan, whether this plan is working as expected, whether some course correction is required. By doing all this, you will be able to maximize your strength. And also importantly, we need to address the weakness. There will be weakness for everyone. We will not be able to convert all our weakness into strengths. So for weakness, trying to convert it into strength is not possible. You need to try to neutralize. You might have a habit, or you might have a skill which is not helping you in your job. Try to neutralize it, try to make less impact, that is a bad impact on your day-to-day work. By doing so, you will be able to achieve well in your career as well as do good for your company. Now, after understanding everything, you are coming to a point that you are realizing that my strengths are not directly aligned with my job, or my strengths are not directly aligned with the day-to-day work I do. What can I do here? So this is something major decision you are going to take. So before making this decision, you need to be very careful in understanding whether you have checked on all the approaches, because you might have 3 to 4 strengths and doesn't need that company will give you an opportunity where all the 4 strengths will be getting leveraged. There might be 2 skills or 3 skills which can get leveraged. You need to do a thorough analysis and see, is the skill and which company is expecting, the work which they are expecting out of you, is there any correlation? After you identify there is no correlation, then you can go ahead and ask your manager saying that I feel there is a gap between what I do and what is expected. Can I have a change of role? That is a second approach. Or there is an other way, sometimes changing the perspective. You might be thinking a good communication means that you communicate with customer, but that doesn't mean that always communicating with the customer. It can be communicating within the team, or it can be communicating with the top management. So communication skills doesn't mean that always communicating with the customer. So changing a perspective, the way you look at it, also can help you to align your strengths with a company goal. In case not changing the after all the analysis, you're not able to look for a different role, or you're not getting a different role, or you're not looking at a different perspective, then it's a time to change the job. But before doing so, try to again have your core strengths, look for a job where these strengths are required, then apply it. So by doing so, you will be able to achieve a win-win situation. I hope this video was very helpful for you. If you like this video, please do like, comment, share it with your friends. This video will be helpful for all the people who are trying to identify strengths. Going forward, let's keep our strengths, not the strengths from Google in interviews, so that we will be getting benefited, the company also will get benefited. Thank you all.